So, ladies and gentlemen, here is a Canadian champion, a world bronze medalist, a member of the Canadian Curling Hall of Fame, an innovator, a fierce competitor, and a wonderful sportswoman. Here is a certified nursing assistant, a graduate in recreation for special populations, a social worker, published scholar, former TV, radio, and newspaper reporter, and color commentator. She has run the stairway to the top of the CN Tower in Toronto during a Canadian fitness challenge in which she qualified to participate. She also has club-level golf championships at Heartland Point and Glen Arbor. But it's for her curling prowess that tonight we welcome Penny LaRocque as an honored member of the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame.
That was nice stuff, huh?
To present the certificate to Penny is Clary Fleming, president of Clary Fleming and Associates, and to present the pin to Penny are a pair of former teammates, Sharon Horn and Marg Cutcliffe. All right. Come on right here, Penny. You got a letter today from your former teammate, Kathy Cottle. I just want to read an excerpt here. This one struck me. Speaking of food, always lots of that on our team. I remember the trip to provincials in Truro where we took enough food for a week, then started by losing our first 2 games. There we go. Good thing we got back on track or a lot of food would have gone to waste. I can't watch a replay of your winning draw to the button without laughing when I read your lips, oh my F. It would be a great immortal quote, except curling is a family entertainment business. You could have used the CBC 10-second delay. Well, my plane is going to land, so I will finish up. And this is from Kathy today. So there you go right there. So, I guess first things first, got to get down to business here as a journalist. Is this retirement thing for good?
Yes, Margie, thank you very much for the encouragement, but I'm retired.
For at least a year?
At least a year,
right.
Yes. Thank
you. When you look back on 83, obviously that's a while ago now, 24 years, but third in the world, and to this day, do you still have thoughts about that special time?
Well, I think the thing that I remember about that whole year is that the year before we were runner-up to Colleen, and I hated being runner-up, and I had said to the girls that I really think that I'm retiring. I just don't want to do this anymore. And a young curler, Heather Rankin, called us and wanted us to go down and play against her in the spring. And so we went down, and on the ride back, the girls convinced me to play again. So I said, only if we really approach this in a very, very serious way. And I must say they committed themselves. We went to Nigel Kemp at Dell that year, who had coached Nancy Garapak to a bronze medal at the Olympics. And I had heard about visualization, the things that they were doing at that time. And so I said, look, this is what we need to do. We really need to get involved. We need sports psychologists. We need nutritionists. And we worked our asses off that year. And going to the Worlds, and which was great, but for me the greatest thing was that the last shot in the Canadian Championship that we won was really what curling really meant to me. It was such a team effort. It wasn't that the skip through the last shot and you made it and you won the game, because there was so much involved in making that shot. You had to call the right ice, and I remember Sharon saying to me, I think we need to take an inch more ice. And can you imagine saying that to someone when it means you're either going to win a Canadian Championship or you're going to lose it? And so I said, okay, let's do that. And went down, sat in the hack. I looked at the girls and I said to them, this is for the Canadian Ladies Curling Championship. And they laughed, because that's something that we had practiced all year. Every time I threw a shot, I said, this is for the Canadian Ladies Curling Championship. So that wasn't anything new. But when I threw it, they had to make the decision whether or not they were going to sweep or not. And Sharon had to call it. And so that's why that shot was so amazing, because it was such a team effort.
Have you ever analyzed yourself and traced the origins of a competitive spirit and drive?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Danke. I'll rephrase that. That was a bad question. Where do you think your competitive spirit and drive comes from?
I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I think when you feel you can be involved in something that maybe you can be successful at, that just the desire to be the best that you can possibly be is something so great. And being involved in a team, and I don't know what it would be like really to be playing as an individual, but to be able to get 3 other people to believe in what you believe and to work as hard as you want to do, that just kinds of pushes you on to be the best. Because, Bruce, winning isn't the only thing. Oftentimes I hear people say it is the only thing and it's everything, but it's really not. Sometimes it's the journey along the way, because the fun you have, the mistakes you made, the successes, the failures, it's all of that that makes it so worthwhile. And especially scoring a goal on Wendell was very important to me.
Poor Wendell, he's a sieve. Penny, wonderful words. Congratulations. Penny LaRocque, ladies and gentlemen.